What's so special about chocolate eclair
I just
for a
love
car journey?
as in the sweets, not the
I was
fancy
thinking
puddings.
the the cream
Yeah, I
cake.
have about 20 of them. Uh, it's just a bag of like
Yeah.
Cadbury's little
Okay, I
chocolate,
get it now. I get it because you can
and
work on
then
them.
yeah, and then often someone else will have a bag of Starburst or Skittles or something. Yeah. Minari then.
Minari, then. Yeah,
Minari. It's the
Minari.
1980s,
It
and
is.
David, a 7-year-old Korean American boy, is faced with new surroundings and a different way of life when his father Jacob moves their family from the west coast to rural Arkansas. Arkansas, it's Arkansas, isn't it?
Is
Arkin,
it Arkansas?
Arkansas. Some people say Arkansas. Is that a completely different place?
Um, I don't know. I'll have to Google it. Yeah, you carry on with the synopsis.
With my letterbox
It's
synopsis.
definitely Arkansas. What did you say first?
Ar-
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Arkansas. I said something that sounded very broken, didn't I? His mother Monica is aghast that they live in a mobile home in the middle of nowhere, and naughty little David and his sister are bored and aimless. When his equally mischievous grandmother arrives from Korea to live with them, her unfamiliar ways arouse David's curiosity. Meanwhile, Jacob, hellbent on creating a farm on untapped soil, throws their fight.
Could you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah,
Arkansas. It is Arkansas.
Arkansas or
Or
Arkansas.
yeah.
So
So
we're
we'll
both
go
right.
Arkansas. Yeah.
I wasn't right with my first pronunciation,
No,
but
you weren't. Sorry. Do carry on.
um,
Reading. I mean, coming out with the.
yeah. Yeah, coming up just on the top of my head. Meanwhile, Jacob, hellbent on creating a farm on untapped soil, throws their finances, his marriage, and the stability of the family into jeopardy.
No one listened to that
No
last bit
one.
after you said Arkansas or whatever you said.
Yeah, everyone's just thinking,
Switched off.
"Oh, I thought it was Arkansas, all right?" Yeah. Now, when did you watch this?
Uh, 2 weeks ago, a week ago. I don't
I can't remember. I think I watched it
know.
last like Thursday, maybe. So you were Monday or Tuesday,
Monday, Tuesday.
and since watching it, between then and recording, the BAFTAs have been, and
Yeah,
they've
they've been on.
won a few.
Yeah,
Um,
one best supporting actress, isn't it?
yeah, Yoon Yu Jung won for playing the grandmother,
Yeah,
and her speech was just bloody brilliant.
it
So,
was.
it was nominated for best score, film not in the English language, best direction, and best casting. But yeah, only won for best supporting actress.
It was heart wrenching when she had a stroke. I didn't really get it at first
No, I
because I
didn't.
thought that Alan had pretended that she'd wet herself.
When it was
Yeah.
when they were like, "What's happened to Grandma? What's Grandma doing?" or something.
Mm,
Mm.
bless her.
Okay, so you might be proud to know I nearly cried at this.
Woo!
Nearly. And it
Yeah.
was the moment when little Alan,
We'll call him
uh,
Al.
yeah, when he was running to his grandma, and obviously part of the film's plot is to not run,
Mm.
for him not to run because he has this problem with his heart. Spoiler alert, by the way. But yeah, at the end, he runs towards his grandmother, and just that moment, it's just a shot, side profile of him running. I was like, oh, it just got me. I
It
don't know
got you.
why. I
Got
just
you.
got goosebumpy. I was like, oh,
Well,
yeah.
I cry at the drop of a hat, so I'm constant. Well, I say I'm constantly crying. Um, I think I'm turning into a heartstone because I've not cried for a while,
What was
and
the
this
last
didn't.
film you cried at?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. I haven't cried at a film this in the last 12 months, or at least the last calendar year. I haven't
Mm,
cried at a film. So maybe I'm turning. Maybe I used to be,
maybe.
and now because of the pandemic, I've turned into like Arnold Schwarzenegger type
Yeah,
Terminator.
there's bigger
Don't care.
things to cry about, and
Yeah.
the films. I was
Um,
trying to think when the last time because I don't think it was since I've been like when I was a kid.
hmm,
So I think the last time I actually cried at there was a film called Duma,
Duma.
Duma,
All
Duma,
right.
I think they pronounced it, yeah, which was about a cheetah. And it was just really emotional. Imagine Marley and Me, but with cheetahs. And me and my brother were crying. I cried at Where the Wild Things Are. Now,
Really?
when did that come out?
You must have been of
Because
that a similar age as that kid that's in it.
maybe, yeah. I'm checking now what the release date. 2009, so I was 10. So
You were of that age.
yeah, I think 10 is possibly the last time I cried at a film.
What happened when you were 10 to make you as hard as you are
I,
now?
s- I saw Where the Wild Things Are.
And that was it.
That was it.
Okay. What was your favorite moment?
I think it's between that one where he's running. That one I absolutely loved that moment. Um, I also loved the moment the first time we meet. Was it Paul, the guy who worked
The weird guy.
working for Jacob? Yeah, when you first met him, and he was just like just buzzing on life. Clearly, like
Mm.
and just the reaction from him and from Stephen Yeun's character Jacob, and them two playing off each other, I just thought was so raw and real and
Mm.
emotional, and it showed these two very, very, very different characters connecting. Um, so that moment for me stood out. I loved that bit, and then I loved every time Jacob was on. I mean, the shot of him carrying his cross down the road, and he
Mm.
says like, "This is my church." There was just a lot of that stuff they didn't touch into too much with his character and with America as a nation, the United States, but I don't think they needed to.
I really liked when they were trying to find water.
Mhm.
So they'd got the guy from America with his stick, and they weren't having any of it. And then
Yeah.
he found the water with little Al.
Mhm.
And then they were both screaming next to the
I love that
water.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that was
really
great.
nice. But it just summed up what they were trying to say about their different approaches to their lives, like because of their background and stuff. It was
Mm.
just really nice. That whole, I mean, just setting up the farm was really nice. And then obviously
Mhm.
when the grandma came and chucked the Minari everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just had a sense of dread the whole way through. I just this
Yeah.
feeling that something massive was going to go wrong, like all the time, but it never
Mm.
really appeared, apart from obviously the massive fire.
I
Like,
think as well, because it's a Korean American film, there's been a lot of comparison just in the press and things to Parasite,
mm,
saying this is this year's Parasite. And actually, these films are nothing alike. It's just
no,
that they're both Korean. That is essentially what is, and they appeal to a Western audience, I think, as well. So I think that was in my head that I was like, because I'd heard it was this year's Parasite, I was expecting it to go really crazy. And then at the end, I was like, it's nothing like Parasite. I love it, but it's a completely different film. So why
yeah,
people were comparing them just because of them both being
I
films
guess
in the
it's an
foreign
easy
language
way for
category.
them to pigeonhole it into a certain thing.
I mean, you reviewed this and gave it 5 star. Are you still at a
Give it,
5 star?
give it the big five.
You
Uh,
did.
yeah, why not? I think it was brilliant. As I say, there's not much like it
Hmm.
in Western cinema, should I say?
Yeah.
Um, and it was just beautiful, just the way it was made. I
Hmm.
loved the script. I loved the everything about it. I just thought it was intriguing. And I really want to watch it again because without that sense of dread all the way through.
Yeah.
Now I know what happens. I might be able to have a different perspective on it.
How
Uh,
uh, how many films have you given a 5 star to?
And this is a great question. Recently I rewatched School of Rock, and I've upped it to a 5. So I've just
Wow.
added a 5 to my list. So I think I've got 49 5s
Wow.
in 33 years.
That's a credit to Minari then. So amongst 1,100 films, there's less than 50 you'd give 5-star to, and one of them is Minari.
One of them is Minari, yeah. It's incredible, really. But I'm trying to be a bit more generous with my 5s. Maybe that's a factor. But I really enjoyed it. I gave Parasite a 5, and the other couple of newer films I've given a 5. I still don't give many. Into the Spider-Verse, Wolfwalkers, and 1917 were the last sort of.
Oh wow, they're the last
newer
few
ones.
you've given 5 stars.
Yeah.
I have given 5-star because I gave Minari a 4. So the latest things I've given 5-star to, I also gave Parasite 5-star. Mangrove, the Small Axe film.
Oh yeah, I did that as well.
That a 5-star. Klaus, I gave a 5-star. The Christmas film that came out a couple of years ago. I think they're the most recent ones.
Anything else to say on Minari?
Yeah. So the final question I was going to ask is, and it kind of fits into what we were just talking about, but where does it fit in 2021 so far? Is it your number 1 film of the year so far?
It is, Alice. It is. It's my first 5 of the year, and therefore it is.
You meant like your top 5?
It's my first top 5, and therefore it is currently sitting at number 1.
Nice.
How about you?
It's number 2 for me. And I had a little jiggle round with my list the other day because
with your
I've
list.
had
Sorry,
yeah. I've had a few days to think about everything, and my favorite film of the year at the moment is Palm Springs, and Minari is a very close second. But there you go. Well, I guess if this is an official video, then you can watch Minari.
I shouldn't do that while you're
yeah. You can watch Minari on. You can watch Minari on VOD for $9.99. I downloaded it on Apple TV. Did you use Prime?
I use Prime. I mean, if you're watching it and are happy waiting, you probably just wait until you can just watch it cheaper.
It'll come out on something, yeah.
But thanks for watching, everyone. And if you want to watch this, go to the Apple Store to download it for $9.99.99.
Or don't.
And wait. It'll be on. I bet you this will be on Prime for free.
Yeah.
Not Netflix. Bit of a nerdy bet there, but I just get a feeling I can just imagine the Prime thing across the top of the.
Yeah, I would bet you the other way, but I agree. So
you agree with me?
I'm not going to do that.